So here we are on Sky Princess. It's our last night before we disembark in Southampton. Just having a last cuppa before bed. So take a look at this video to look at 5 things we loved and 5 things we didn't like quite so much.
So let's kick things off with something that absolutely stood out. The service. From the moment you stepped on board the Sky Princess, you were treated like royalty. Housekeeping kept our stateroom spotless, and the dining and bar staff made every meal feel like a special occasion. The guest services team were also great, and they were available to assist with any request or question that arose during our journey. They go above and beyond to ensure that your trip is smooth and stress-free, always offering help with a professional and friendly attitude. Alright then, we can't talk about cruising without mentioning the food. And whether you're a buffet lover or prefer a sit-down meal, Sky Princess has you covered. The World Fresh Marketplace Buffet was absolutely fantastic, offering a consistently changing selection of cuisine. So whether you were craving a roast dinner, burger or international food, or something healthy, gluten-free, vegetarian or vegan, they had it all and then some. For something more formal, there are 3 main dining rooms that offer a multi-course meal, which are also included in your cruise fare. Plus, you have your to-go foods, so if you're out by the pool, the Salty Dog Grill serves up gourmet burgers and fantastic loaded fries, with Slice Pizzeria right next door with freshly made pizza. If you fancy splurging out, there are specialty restaurants like Sabatini's Italian or the Catch by Rudy, though these specialty restaurants all come at an extra cost. Finally, for a light snack, there's the 24-hour cafe. This is always there with sandwiches, pastries and cookies at any time of the day or night. Now, every cruise line that you go on has a different drinks policy for bringing your own alcohol aboard. Sky Princess seems to be a little different and has a pretty generous alcohol policy. You can bring 1 bottle of wine each aboard, and if you want to bring more, no problem. You just pay a corkage fee for the extra bottles. It's a nice touch for those who want to enjoy their favourite wine without spending too much on board. Now on to the fun stuff. Entertainment on the Sky Princess was solid. The Princess Theatre, which spans decks 6 and 7, was a fantastic venue and hosted a variety of shows from comedy and live music to even a stage hypnotist, which I may or may not have volunteered for. There's also the Princess Live Lounge, which is perfect for trivia and game shows. For live music lovers, the Vista Lounge and Take 5 Jazz Bar is where it's at. The Vista Lounge is great for live performances, comedy acts and late night dancing, whilst Take 5 is more of a jazz venue with live musicians. We didn't spend too much time in there because, well, jazz just isn't our thing, but it is a lovely spot if you're into that. If you're feeling lucky, they did have a good-sized casino which had plenty of gaming tables and machines to try your hand. There's definitely something for everyone. Now, one of the coolest features on board the Sky Princess has to be the medallion, which is your all-in-one cruise companion. You can wear it around your neck, on a lanyard or on your wrist. This little device does everything. It unlocks your stateroom door automatically as you approach, lets you make purchases on board like drinks or at the shops, books your excursions. And one of the best things, it has the ability to locate other members of your party anywhere on the ship, like kids. By using the Medallion app on your phone or on the screens dotted around the ship, you can find them anywhere. Plus, it's linked to facial recognition so the crew always know your name, adding to a nice personal touch. Now, as much as we loved our time on Sky Princess, there were a few things we didn't like quite so much. But honestly, none of these were bad enough to ruin the holiday, but they are worth mentioning if you're considering the Sky Princess. Now, if we embarked at a different port, this might not even get on our dislike list. But as we joined the ship from the QE2 terminal in Southampton, this terminal might have worked well for the QE2's 1,500 passengers back in the day, but with the Sky Princess accommodating over 4,000 passengers, it took nearly an hour to drop off our luggage. Luckily, we got through and the actual boarding process was fairly quick, about 20 minutes to get on board, so not a deal breaker, but something to be aware of. Depending on what kind of holiday you're after, again, this might not make it to your dislike list. Sky Princess is great for relaxing, sitting by the pool or hot tub, or reading a book, for example. But if you're someone who loves adventure and active entertainment, you might find the amenities a bit lacking. There's no rock wall or splash park or high ropes or anything like that which you may find on other ships. There's a small games arcade, but honestly, it felt a bit pricey for what it offered. While the upfront cost of the cruise was fair, we noticed that once you're on the ship, the prices for the extras were noticeably steeper compared to other cruises we've taken. Drinks, shore excursions, shopping, all seemed to be on the pricier side. We all expect to pay a little more on board, but it felt like Princess took it a bit too far. And while it wasn't enough to ruin the trip, it's something to be aware of when you're budgeting for extras. Although we found the service to be fantastic, one thing that got a little annoying was the constant upselling. Whether it was drinks packages, specialty dining, or spa treatments, it felt like every time you turned around, someone was trying to sell you something. We get it, cruise lines have to make money and sell their services, but they just seem to go a little overboard with it. Now, this definitely would not be on our list if this trip was just for Lucy and myself. But as this was sold to us as a 4-berth balcony cabin, I've got to say it was probably the worst cabin we have ever had as a family. Last year, when we sailed on Sky Princess, we had an inside cabin, and it was great. It had a dressing area and good-sized storage area, etc. So this year, because we liked the ship so much, we upgraded to a balcony cabin, which, to be honest, although quite reasonable, wasn't cheap, as we have to sail in school holidays, which doesn't help either. For 2 adults and 2 teenagers, the layout just didn't work. You had to do this weird limbo type thing to try and get through the cabin, as there just wasn't enough room to move around. It was nearly impossible to relax in an air-conditioned cabin to take in a movie with all of us in there. If it had just been for the 2 of us, it would have been fine. But for a family, it wasn't ideal at all, and I must admit, felt a little cheated. So if you're travelling with more than 2 people, definitely check out the layout of your cabin beforehand. So there you have it. Those are our top 5 likes and dislikes about Sky Princess. Overall, it was a great cruise, and we'd definitely sail with Princess Cruises again. But like with any trip, there were a few things we'd like to tweak. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on our next adventure. See you next time, and happy cruising!